in the studio with us is none other than sportscaster, TV host, radio host, Emmy Award winner, author. This man is one busy son of a gun. Pat O'Brien.
Hey, how are you guys?
Absolutely tremendous. Thanks for making time in your schedule to stop by and chat with us.
Great to be back home. Patty and I, of course, have more secrets than anybody.
We do, because we actually met back in the 80s for the first time.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. Would that have been at the pump room?
She was not. Well, no, she was my meth dealer.
No.
She
Had a big life, and it's all in the book.
Tell us about the book. I'll be back right after this.
It's a good-looking book, isn't it?
Great pictures. Oh my gosh.
I wrote this book because I didn't want other people to tell my stories. I really didn't want to leave my life to Patrick Lally.
No one does.
I'm going to be on this show today, by the way.
Oh, that's a warning pad.
But I mean, there are people like Patrick and these other people who spent their lives, telling me that my life was over, my career was over because I had a sex scandal, which was minor. And
we didn't hear about that.
No, nobody did.
No.
And by the way, I'm the first person who was single with money and reasonably good looking in New York to try to get laid. Never happened before in the history of mankind.
That's why it was
Charlie Sheen called me and said, "Nice effort."
Wow.
But that's just a piece of this. When I told President Clinton I was going to write a book, and he said to me, I said, "Should I put that little stupid sex scandal in there?" He goes, "I wrote a 700-page book. The only thing I wanted to read is 4 pages."
That is a spot on Clinton. I like that.
Isn't that something?
But no, it's I've had a big life and a blessed life, and a big part of it's been Sioux Falls. A lot of Sioux Falls memories in here. But it's been great, and Sioux Falls is a big part of my life, and I've been a champion of this town. And it always did hurt me when Patrick would say horrible things, because I'm one of the guys that helped save Washington High School. I was very active in Sadie State Theater. I come back a lot. I help a lot of alcoholics here, and I'm part of this We Face It Together, which is going to change the language and the way people in recovery are treated and get into treatment. So this is a big part of me this time.
So where are you in this walk, Pat? When you look at...
I don't walk, I run.
You run. Well, you obviously do. You're a busy guy. But does this whole, where you are right now, let's talk about that first of all. In your life, I mean, it's been when I look back, I was going through your biography and all the stuff that you've done, all the things.
Right.
It's just been a whirlwind. So where are you personally? Are you content where you are, where you ended up?
Do I look content?
You look good.
Hello, Patty.
Yeah, Ben.
So there. How about that? No, I'm in that spot where I wake up now and decide who I want to be for that day, not who somebody else wants me to be. I've been blessed to be now kind of the cover boy for recovery, and that's been a big thing for me. And at age 66, people still want me to come back on TV. So, my life is great.
What do you remember most about growing up in Sioux Falls? What are some of the
Wow.
landmarks? And
just the simplicity of it. Being able to walk to school and being able to go to pretty much any school. Getting the hell beat out of me in Axtell Park, and that was always fun.
you can't say you got the hell beat out of you in Axtell Park. Now tell us about that. What happened?
My teachers.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Wow.
I love Axtell.
Were you a mouthy kid?
What do you think?
No, that's
that was
very
back
hard
when
to believe.
teachers could slam me against the wall, and just knock you out. But Axtell was a big part of my life, and then Washington High. But Axtell, I love it there. I've been back there a couple times to speak, and always got a bad rap. It shouldn't, and I kid about it. Washington High was great for me, and I loved it here. I loved it so much. I graduated with a 1.7 grade point average.
That's twice what High Camp did.
Yeah.
Well, High Camp was what, a point? You know what High Camp got on his SAT scores? The same as the guy next to it.
That sounds about right.
Let's talk about your career. Who's the worst sportscaster to work with?
Why do you be so negative?
You've worked with them all, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't think there was. Everybody was always afraid to work with me, so they were always afraid of me. No, there wasn't. There are some guys that aren't the nicest guys in the world, like Keith Olbermann, some of those people. But I never had a problem. We had a lot of fun, maybe too much in some cities. But in fact, Ray Kelly was the last commissioner of New York City Police. said to me, I flew out there a couple months ago. I was having dinner with Derek Jeter and him. And put his arm around me and said, "You know, Pat, the day you stopped drinking in my city was the greatest day of my life." New York Police Commission.
Well, talking current events, you know, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, which has been really kind of tough the last couple of weeks. Where are you on the whole Peterson thing?
Well, I don't think he should play again. I mean, I think that the difference between Adrian Peterson, and I like him, and I know him, the difference between that and Ray Rice is that the justice system did not fail us in the Adrian Peterson thing. Ray Rice was bungled, and they should have put him in jail right away. You know, when you put leaves in a kid's mouth and then switch him, and I understand that everybody's now saying it's part of a culture, and I'm not going to tell people how to raise their kids, but when you put welts and draw blood and fill up your kid's child with leaves, after you've had a son from another mother die right here in Sioux Falls, after there's been another allegation, you know, you got to take a look at yourself. And you know, the great players always will play again. But I think he hit a perfect storm of no tolerance, and I think he's going to be pretty much doomed for life's sake. I'm a Vikings fan, you know.
But when you look around,
people that come up and say he's on my fantasy team, what would I say?
Oh, they're screwed.
Who cares?
Yeah. We're talking with Pat O'Brien. When you look at the NFL, and you've been on the inside for a lot of years, is it indeed kind of systemic of the NFL? Is this?
It's a good word. It's endemic and systemic. It's part of our culture. It's not just the NFL. It's everybody. I mean, walk out the street. Look at him.
Yeah, Todd looks like he hit a kid.
Well, that's not funny, actually.
No, it's I don't know where that came from. No.
But yeah, I mean, it's part of a national crisis. I mean, spousal abuse and girlfriend abuse is 650,000 cases a year. 2 million kids a year. 2 million kids a day watch one of their parents get beat up right in front of them. And so the good thing, I guess, that came out of the Ray Rice thing is that we get to take a look at a national health and issue problem. Adrian Peterson thing, which was, you know, one strike, or the death here, which is a flag, and then this other kid, his own son. And I mean, he told me after his, was he 3 years old, who died here at the hands of someone. He told me on my show that it changed his outlook about being a parent. But you know, then we get to the question of, do we tell people how to raise their kids? And we probably shouldn't, but we should tell them not to beat them. I think every kid has the same rights that we have, pursuit of happiness, and it's very sad that little kid did.
So what's your favorite restaurant in Sioux Falls? Best favorite place to eat?
Well, I always liked Minerva's because it was, you know, kind of a place to go where you always knew. But there are so many new great ones now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all over the place. Spezia?
Spazia's, yeah.
Right over
What
here.
the hell's wrong with me?
Yeah.
I just agree with
I think
me.
you're just, it's the glow of my personality that's just.
No, it's the glow of my personality. Flashing back at me.
That's what it is.
But yeah, Sioux Falls has great places, and I love all these Gunders. I love all these the place across from Gunderson's. I love all these places, and you know the Crowbar. I don't go to it anymore, but oh my God, look at that! You got the bobblehead.
We do.
We do.
We have the Pat O'Brien bobblehead. Just wondered if you do us the honor of signing it.
Sure.
If I can get the.
You know, a lot of people took the microphone out of my hand, stuck a bottle of wine in it.
Oh,
Really the way to go there.
Pat
But I'll
O'Brien,
sign it.
right
Look at
there.
that. Handsome guy.